Welcome back, everyone. I'm the Depressed Dior, and this is Cultist Simulator. Progress, let's go. A 16th century alchemical fever dream attributed to Robert Flood, frequently banned for the disturbing allure of its illustration. This is actually volume 1 of the Orchid Transfigurations. We got that going for us. We got money still, so I'm gonna go ahead and keep buying stuff. Unfortunately, we need to learn Latin, which we can learn from this guy, actually. In fact, I probably should have done that first. That's okay. We'll bring this book down here because we need to sell it. Alright. Alright. So we took care of our dread. Let's get this going. Approaching the white door. There's a house in the wood and a door where the dead sometimes go. I have read of the paths the dead take. So that should take care of that. Finally, some progress. So we'll be focusing mostly on probably just getting books, reading them, and that's about it, until we get rid of this damning out of evidence. The 6 letters of necessity, warnings and confessions about the cost of the invisible arts, addressed to a student by the 17th century magus and reputed immortal, Julian Causely. I'm actually buying books faster than I can get money because it's only 30 seconds to buy a book. It takes me 70 seconds to make 3 funding. So I might have to calm down a little bit soon. But I'm not too worried about it. So many words, such little time. I will keep my reference works close at hand. Improve my Sanskrit. The holy tongue of the subcontinent, the door to 4,000 years of poetry, ceremony, and mystery now opens before you, if you can struggle through the lotus convolutions of its vocabulary. We have another language. Let's read up on the Queen of the Rivers. What I'll probably do is after I buy another book, I'll sell this book at the auction. So I can get a little bit of money, as well as give them time to give me more money. Thank you. Keep my devotion going. The Humors of a Gentleman, Samuel Savage's satirical comedy on the intrigues of the ailing but cunning John Son, his mistress Mevelyn, her lover Leo, and the upstart Corvino. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and go visit the auction and sell this book, because we already know Greek. There's no improvement beyond knowing it, so this will get us hopefully a little bit of money back, probably not much. Either 0 or 1, but at the very least I'll buy some time. An elegant man of inelegant habits. You might be able to recruit this acquaintance as a follower. Blah 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 blah. Alright, boop. Okay, let's keep going. These are the bounds about the house. With their mist and their traces. This is the rock called the Temple of the Wheel, high as this church spire, patched with black lichen and daubed with eye signs. I round it, and there ahead of me is the white door, aglow like the moon in the winter. In my dreams I've passed the white door, which has been called the Bone Door and the Gate of Ivory. My voice remains outside the house each time I enter. So there you go. We have now got the way of the way of the white door. In my dreams, I know the paths of the white door through the bounds, but that path is strong with the dead who pass that way. I will need health to resist their chill. So if we want to enter, we need health. This thing also takes invest health to pass the white door, or follow desire to the stag door, the door of the no. The scent is slow, winds from nowhere pluck at me. My skin is stained with light, the wood shivers with motion far below. So if we want to, we can upgrade this. I'm thinking about it real quick. But I actually don't want to, I do not want to upgrade it yet. Or do I? I'm trying to think of my options. Let's pass through the door for right now. Now I can approach the white door through the bounds. Now I can press my fingers to it, feel its chill, watch it swing open. As it opens, my mouth closes, tightens, heals over like a lost deformity, around and about me in the cobalt light of the mantis. So in this area, you can't speak. At all. Have fun. Murmurings in the audience. For whatever unlikely reason, my item has caught the fancy of the bidders. Huh. Neat. The culprit, it transpires, is the audience. The surviving queens are directed to execute whatever audience members do not escape. A surprisingly lucid epilogue suggests that the correspondence of river names with historical events does not provide clues to secret histories behind our own. This gets us an occult scrap. Okay, we got that going for us. Peru's savages, humors of a gentleman. By the end of the first act, Madeline has revealed a secret door in the walls of the house to Leo, and Corvino has taken to consuming worms. The auctioneer's gavel bangs, my item was sold. Got 2 funding out of it, so that's even more than I expected. Alright, good stuff. We'll go ahead and go shopping with it. Damning evidence is still going. Alright, so now we're in a different section. We can get restlessness now. So now, in the wood, there was practically no real danger. Like, there was no dangerous cards you can potentially get. You would just get low-level influences, a little bit of minor lore, possibly slightly higher lore. And that's about it. You can sometimes get rumors. Here, you can actually get restlessness, which of course can become dread, which could be a little dangerous. Let's go to Lodge of the Sage Knight. As you can see, there's higher tier secret histories here as well. I learned something that will earn me a favor. Once only. This will preserve you or a follower from imprisonment, but it cannot be relied on. It's a favor from authority. Aspect suspicious. A detective may wish to investigate this. Alright, a bunch of stuff is happening, so I'm just getting this taken care of. Alright, back to where we were. Also, since the part where you drop the card is in a different section, that the card's going to auto-spot to a different location. Last night I dreamt of a blue silk pavilion overlooking the cloudy labyrinth of the bounds. I listened to the mistress of the place speak of other visitors. The Suppression Bureau come here. Did you know that? I think they hope to recruit me as an ally. She snorts derisively after what they tried to do to Christopher. But their folly is your fortune. I will tell you something that might help you, if the Bureau ever troubles you. So yeah, a favor is kind of a last resort method to stop persecution. If you, it's pretty much the last step. When that timer happens, there'll be an option to put call in a favor, and if it works, it works. Sometimes it doesn't work, and sometimes you don't get persecuted even if you didn't put a favor, because they just couldn't manage to survive the trial. But it's something to be aware of. And unfortunately it has a duration of about 5 minutes, so It'll last about as long as the damning evidence, so that's good for us. Let's go ahead and go through the, let's go ahead and do this. I'm going to go through the stag door. See what happens. I found something noteworthy. Collection of essays. This will increase our freaking reason. Play is scarbarous and occasionally hilarious. The characters are contrary and capricious. Many of the more resonant lines might well be formula of power disguised in plain sight. Alright, we got ourselves another Watchman secret. So we can upgrade that if necessary. The Victory of the Crowns. The assassins are, according to Arun, the agents of power called the Coronal, a soldier of the Secret Masters. The accounts go all the way back to Roman times. This is Greek. A bestiary, what is contained by silver, a bestiary by Pomander and Greek. So we do speak Greek, so that is something we can mess around with. In the meantime, let's go ahead and keep shopping. Also down here, we get Leo the Acquaintance. Add him to the pile of possible recruits. And we'll keep working on this. The stag door, a rigid barrier of blood-streaked horn, huge enough for a ship to pass. It was broken long ago, and even now the scars are not quite healed. And a declivity beside the door rests a vast and wounded golden head. Its mouth would be large enough to swallow me, were its jaws not shattered. It is the name Gerby. It begins to intone its riddle. Stag door's riddle. What are the words that make sacrifice sweet? Answer this riddle to pass the stag door and be counted a no. Some questions have only one answer, some have no answer at all. So this is a riddle. You can dream on this riddle. In my dream I will stand again before the stag door, a rigid barrier of blood-streaked horn, broken long ago, not yet quite healed. That vast and golden head, Gerby, will await my answer to my riddle. Just to save time, I'm not going to go there because I don't have anywhere near enough lore to actually answer the question. But at this point, you would have to have focused on a particular dedication. You can't just have a temptation at this point. You have to have a dedication. So at this point, you would be locked in on whatever path you're going on. Anyway, in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and keep going to this place that's possibly dangerous. Alright, more money. More devotion. It's unfortunate, but I don't want to get demoted yet. Another collection of essays. Well, they stack, so that's fine. They're not unique books, as you can easily tell. Alright, Restlessness, which we really can't do anything about. Arun's scholarship is dubious, but she, writes pithily. Incidents of sudden and violent death are interspersed with aphorisms. Ours don't dream, long try not to. A knife secret. When our ancestors forged swords, taught the arts of martial movement, spoke curses on the eve of battle, all of these things shared certain patterns. Use this rite with a corpse in winter power and the corpse will rise. Alright, so we got our first lore of Edge, or Edge lore. Not to be confused with Edge Lord. Alright. I'm gonna keep going through the English books first, just to get those out of the way. Costley's tone is urgent, as if he suspects he might have little time left. So, as you can tell, this game's pretty straightforward, kind of if you know what you're doing, it's mostly just going through the motions, sort of. This game does kind of have that one more turn type thing going on, which is kind of interesting. We just got a book on Latin. Gildersleeve's Latin grammar, just what you need to refresh your knowledge of Latin. I'm probably going to end up selling it, because I can just learn Latin from somebody else. And there's not really much use for Spintria, especially of the lower tiers, besides using it to learn languages. So, it is what it is. Let's go ahead and keep shopping. Until that evidence is gone, there's not really much I can do. It's too risky to attempt it. Hey, a Fruit of Truth. So with that, we can actually finish another commission if we want to. Many of the dead enter the mansis through the white door. They wander its corridors in silence until they are lost. Some embrace each other, some devour each other, some force their way into the dreams of the living. A few record their memories on the mansis stone where it is soft. They scratch it with their nails, you see. Last night I read one of those memories. Alright, so with that I could go and explore and get some a new location. Alright, got some health. Got some money. Get some work done. The Horus book, it's a Latin book. In Latin, a 19th century reprint of a 14th century Latin translation of a 4th century work. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and use one of these Fruit of Truths and do some exploring. I'll give me a little bit of time to get some money. Even the Soon can be divided, though it requires the Forge of Days for its division. So we got another Smith's Secret, which I grabbed the wrong card. Boop. Alright, I'm gonna need some vitality in a second, so let's go ahead and take care of that. Another hanger on. We're just gonna get endless mystique here, but that's fine. Once you kind of know what's dangerous and what's not, it's pretty helpful. An icy atmosphere. The air crisps the skin, frost marks the glass. A 6th order influence, the signs are unmistakable. This can be used in some rites to summon minions. We went to the lodge, didn't we? Let's go to the Orchard of Lights. Got glimmering. The sun in splendor, the hour who once ruled the mansis, was known to walk in the orchard before his terrible division. Sometimes his remnants walk here still. Sometimes I see the chilly radiance of the minuscate through the trees, or the chillier radiance of the sun in rags. Were they to come upon me, it might be my end, but to see them in the distance is a gift of insight. Let's shuffle a few cards. Actually an easy way to deal with that is just to shift everything over. Like so. Alright, I'm gonna wait until the walk is finished. Actually, no, I won't. I'm gonna go ahead and do it now. Go ahead and ascend. And we're about to get some dread. Good times. Good times. Alright, we got an affliction we need to deal with. This place merits closer investigation. Kurasham. Drive through the downs to the coast where the gray-green lands meets Atlantic Gray. Search along the road for signs to Kurasham town. You will rarely find it, even if you have visited before, and its inhabitants guard their secrets with curse and cudgel and fast-bolted door. This is not a unique location, so we've found everything in the Shire. So we don't need to explore that anymore. So that's good. Besides that, let's buy some more books. Making some money, making some money. Alright, next book I wish to study is this one. In the past, a score or more of longs were made. They brokered peace with the Forge of Days long enough to set England on a path of early conquest and eventual destruction. The Forge itself devoured the greatest among them. I'm moving on. Moorland is closing. I'm moving on. Miss Moorland informs you my stock is largely exhausted and the Suppression Bureau are taking an interest, so it's goodbye. This last book is nonsense. I've tucked some interesting papers into the back as a thanks for your custom. So with that, this used to be the address of Moorlands, the book dealer, but I'll have to look elsewhere for knowledge now. So that card is useless. I can't do anything with it. I get a white ceremony, so now I have 2 of them, so I can combine them. And something, deep mystery, something. A dreadful soulful of half-digested rumor about the secret worlds and the irrelevance of contemporary morality, including a catalog of unlikely and probably invented debaucheries. If I bought this from a shop, it probably means there is nothing else left in stock. I believe if you read this, I think it just gets you a erudition. In fact, I don't even think you can read it, so I'm gonna go ahead and just sell it. It's worth practically nothing, so it'll probably give me nothing, but it's better than nothing. Well, it is nothing. Oop. I could have gotten contentment for that, but that's okay. Clouds part, walls creak, old wounds ache. 6 order influence of knock. So I have yet to do any fancy rituals. Well, part of the reason I haven't done any rituals is I don't actually have very much power, to say the least. The other issue is I don't have very many rites. I only have 1, and it requires sacrificing living people, and I don't want to do that. So it's a problem. Anyway, let's deal with our affliction. So the good news is we bought out the shop. So now the only way we can get books besides going through dungeons is through the auction. Auction is a bit more expensive, but it's doable. A lot of times you usually could get stuff for 1 coin. It's just sometimes I've had to pay up to 3 once, but it's pretty rare. But the good news is we're making money. A lot of it. The royalty of England, according to Willis Ford, became the sovereigns of the leashed flame, destroying or transforming their enemies, conquering Europe, establishing grand cathedrals to sink spark. The alliance with the Forge begins to take its toll. The last few chapters are missing entirely. This gets us a furtive truth. So we can combine those to make those a better truth. Alright, this was a Greek book, so what you can do here is you can actually go attempt a translation of a text and begin translation. Takes 60 seconds. And then after that you can read it as normal. Alright. We can learn from each other. We got a peculiar rumor and that's it. And I don't want to mess with that rumor. Or actually, I might be okay with doing that because the damning evidence is a... Well, it depends if what happens to the damning evidence. Alright, my item has sold. I actually got 2 coins from that. That was well worthwhile. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and keep asking around for people. Okay, got our health back. I'm going to go ahead and spend money and get some opiate. Okay, she's doing her thing again. Okay, it becomes tentative evidence. So yeah, I gotta wait for that stuff to go away. There's, like I mentioned before, a while back, there is a way to get rid of tentative evidence, but it's risky, and the resource I'll be risking is finite. So with that knowledge in mind, let's go ahead and do so if I start this without putting anything in the slot, it becomes an auction. Alright, I got rid of the dread. Let's keep exploring. Alright, so a crowd of pinched faces, glinting eyes, who will bid? The item at the auction is visible on the right. It will be gone forever if the auction is lost. So if I don't take this, I lose it forever. I'm probably going to go ahead and bid on everything, even if it's not worthwhile, just to say that I grabbed all the books. I raised my hand. The auctioneer raps out an acknowledgement. Will anyone match me? So, if all goes well, it'll be done in 30 seconds. Otherwise, I'll have to pay more money. Alright, so now this is translated. I've prepared the text for study, so now I can read it. A dire bestiary of the horrors to be found in mirrors. This is a recent edition of the 3rd century text by Pomander. Meanwhile, we're going to keep getting money here. Patron. Alright. Auctioneer makes a note of my name and signals one of the attendants. I have my prize. I hope it's worth it. It wasn't, but I wanted it anyway. Really? More poetry? Let's get it out of the way. Boop. Ah, perfect. A forgotten chronicle, a story of a city without a gate, of a queen who was not born, of a war which was not fought. Exploring with this scrap of knowledge may uncover secret locations on the continent. Last night I visited the lodge of the Sage Knight. My hostess manifested as an elegant woman with fashionably short hair and dark glasses. No, she admits, I don't need them any more than I need eyes. Allow me my sentimentalities, but I've come for knowledge. But you've come for knowledge, I expect. Here's a story I heard in my Kershon days. You are welcome to it. Only remember me if you come to make the pilgrimage. There we go. We can use that to explore, which will change things. Will get us more places to mess around with. So, like I mentioned, the issue is we're not getting very much lore. Like, we're getting plenty of secret histories, which we can upgrade. We're not getting very much of the other types, and we need the other types. We especially need Moth, because that is literally our cult. But we're just not getting it. All right, got a collection of poetry. I'm gonna go ahead and do some exploring. Find sites to explore on the continent. Little wars, great intrigues, cryptic priesthoods, mystic crimes, all past now. But what traces did they leave? Ah, cool. Alright, the virgins, maidens of the mirror favor orchids, the behindlings favor the rhododendron. Cut flowers of either nature should not be placed before polished bronze. An appendix contains a rite which might be used to summon some of these entities, although the details of its use are not made clear. A Mantis glimpse. A snatch of poetry, a single memory of a certain house that all of us visit at least twice in our lives. For one's first visit to the Mantis, this lore is almost essential. Rite of the Watchman's Sorrow. This rite recalls the loss of the watchman, who walks the house which has no walls. Light goes before him and shadow behind. He must not see you. The instrument of power is used to summon him to take his sacrifice, precious knowledge from the root of your thoughts. The assistant must speak the words that anchor your sanity, so choose someone you trust. So, we got our second rite, which I think also requires a sacrifice, which is a problem. Alright, Alright, well, at this point, there's not much we can do besides try to upgrade some shit. And I'm not sure which... So to answer the riddle, you have to provide the correct lore of the correct level. I don't remember what the correct answer is. I think it's knife, or sorry, edge, and it could also be Grail, which of course is the types I can't upgrade, so that's a problem. I'm gonna go ahead and upgrade the secret histories just so I can explore more. They tend to be easier to upgrade anyway. Yeah, it looks like we're not getting any additional people. Get a peculiar rumor over and over again. So we might have all we can get at the moment. That can't be right, though. Well, in the meantime, shift these over, put that away. Oh, actually, let's just go ahead and recruit the people we got. Take care of that. And then we'll probably be able to take a break from trying to recruit people over and over again. Alright. So this right here requires... Oh, it requires a sacrifice of lore, which is actually not great. It also requires either a prisoner or a person to help out. Now note the candle icon represents it gets destroyed. In this one you just need an assistant, but they don't have to... They're not going to die. It also requires an instrument, which is a tool. A sword does not kill. It is an instrument in the hand of the killer, Seneca the Younger. Which, unfortunately, is nothing we can really work with. We can also start working on this. Earn a living or practice the invisible arts. Only a true adept, a no, may take this step. The no are those who pass the stag door in the dreams, which we haven't passed the stag door yet. And then we also need sufficient power and forge to progress. So, Unfortunately, we are still playing catch up as far as progress is concerned. Leo is an earnest sword, but he's prepared to do what he must. So he is a heart type. Boop. We might be at the point where we can actually start exploring. Fort of Truth. Actually, we can't start exploring because anytime we explore these locations over here, we will get notoriety. So yeah, even places that are like completely like nowhere near the capital will get notoriety. So we gotta get rid of that freaking evidence first. So we'll wait it out. I gotta be patient. This merits, okay. The Vandershoff Collection, a cramped little museum in a provincial town, long closed to the public since an outbreak of peculiar rapture in the room where they keep the pressed flowers. Only the very curious would ever pay attention to the place in its close-boarded storeroom of ill-omened treasures. You notice I have yet to visit the club. That's because it's not really worth visiting, to say the least. Ugh. As you can probably guess, every tier of Secret Histories reveals a new tier of locations you can explore. So I'm just gonna get this all situated right now. Alright, well, till then, let's go ahead and do some auctions. Hopefully we can get something actually useful. Well, a Sanskrit book, which we can just sell. I'll go ahead and buy it. Just to get it out of the way. And then I'll resell it. Elridge, a believer. Elridge has almost learnt not to pick his teeth with his knife in conversation. He has not yet learnt to leave his knife in his boot. So, put that down here. Definitely have a nice collection of followers at this point. Alright. So one thing we also start doing is trying to get some new possible mercenaries and see if there's anyone useful. I kind of want to get as many books as possible though, because that's really where everything is important. I've increased my knowledge of the secret histories behind the one we know, so I can actually explore again. So we'll do that as well. While we're at it, we'll go ahead and get this going, get those taken care of. The auctioneer made a note, blah blah blah. We now have a Sanskrit book, which we already know about. Alright, do some exploring, please. There's another pawn. Go visit the Orchard of Lights. An intensity of radiance, light endues the skin and suffuses the air. A sixth order influence significant resonance of correspondence. This can be used in rites to summon minions, except for the fact that the rites we have right now don't take influence, so that's a problem. The invisible arts, Christopher Ilpoli is said to have remarked, are as profitable as macrame, as ethical as tobacco smuggling, and in general as beneficial as roulette. Still, there is always the Orchard of Lights, and indeed the orchard, which is glowing fruit in its glowing fruit in its peaceful mist, is a place to be yearned for. Last night I walked there in the peaceful hours of the deep night. Even after waking, I still carry with me a little of the glory of the old sun. Alright. Alright, she's gonna read the evidence, which delays its timer, but that's alright. Alright, we got our pawn. Go ahead and put G away for now. I'm safe for now, they don't have evidence on me. Alright, our money's steadily going up. That's a good place to be. Fermier Abbey. Robert Fermier spent much of his unsavory fortune on the endowments of this monumental forest-crowded abbey. The monks dislike visitors. Their ways are not exactly orthodox. They celebrate a certain harvest festival with unsavory vigor. So that's progress. Alright, let's go ahead and keep doing some... Well, you gotta wait for that evidence to go away. I really don't want to deal with it. The other option is we can try to get rid of Connie Lee, but that's not very good either. We'll go ahead and sell the Sanskrit book. Alright, so I don't know if you noticed what happened over here. That level 6 Radiance, or sorry, that level 6 Influence, the Lantern Influence, when it expired, it actually became Fascination. Higher tier influences actually can turn into things like Dread and Fascination. So that's another risk now. So yes, going through the higher ways can get you a lot more powerful stuff, but if you don't use that powerful stuff, it can actually potentially harm you. Winter Influence. The air crisps the skin, frost marks the glass. Lodge of the Sage Knights. Let's go there. Yeah, if I had gone to the Orchard of Lights again, I would have gotten myself another Fascination. In last night's dream, I was in the Lodge of the Sage Knights behind the White Door. It is difficult to remember exactly how I came there, and the mistress of the place, the one with the dark glasses, was nodding as if I had asked her a difficult question. Of course I hadn't. I lost my speech when I passed the White Door. How is it that I can speak? She said to me. I didn't come here through the White Door. I'm not proud of what I did to come here, so let me tell you about something else. So it's not actually the area that mutes you, it's going through the door. But that got us some erudition, which we don't really need. So, despite the repetition, I do actually... Part of the reason I'm doing this Let's Play is it forces me to slow down and actually read all the text. There's a lot of text to read. And I do like the lore. Alright, made 1 coin off of it, so that evened out. Alright, let's go do some auctioning. Book of essays. Are you serious? Stop giving me stat books. I mean, there's a use for stat books. It allows you to take more risk a little bit more safely, but it's not something we need. Oh, erudition. Good. We have that. Alright. Money, money, money. Is there a way to make more money? Yes. But it's as long as this thing has annoyances on it, it's something we'll eventually have to deal with. Either we have to let ourselves get fired, or we need to kill or do other things to the person. Alright, collection of essays. Come on, you gotta have other books. Well, there's a book about Greek. I'll go ahead and buy it, just so I can sell it. I did get 2 coins off the last one I sold. Furtive truth. Yeah, I'm gonna take it. It'll at least give me something to do if I ever have opportunities for my studies. Ah, here we are. Stoom, or S-T-U-M-M. A can of nitrate film labeled Stoom, silent or perhaps mute. The director named Jernick Cross is shakily appended. So yes, we can buy that. We need more reason. Okay, that works out. Alright, good news is we got some contentment, so that took care of itself. We're actually running out of reason. Alright, so we got Stoom, which we can study later. What do you got for me? Restlessness. Boop. There's a Forgotten Chronicle. A favor from authority. So we read about that one already. Alright. What do we got here? Latin! Another Latin book. We need it, apparently. Okay. Alright, we'll get rid of the fascination. The dread's gonna wear off, so we're good. We're in good shape there. We upgrade all that. Alright. Stoom. Unlock books and other treasures. We have to pay for... I'll need to purchase a projector to watch this. Yeah, that's fine. The film rattles through the projector, glows silently on the wall. It is the story of a foolish student of forbidden sciences who recruits a dancer to entice the dead back into the world through a flaw in its skin. It's a fiction, but here on the title card it's laid out the operation of the declining sun. Another bidder. Fine. I got the money to burn, so I'll buy them, so no one else can have them. We're actually eating through our reason pretty effectively because of all the studying we're doing. Alright, well, we now have 2 of those. There we go, some other books. Delbillus Morum, in Latin, an 18th century epic poem by the pseudonym of Sistos. Yep, I'm all for that. Alright, tentative evidence is almost gone. We just got some dread. The rite is depicted in chilling detail. Here's the flaw in the world, an influence shimmering in luminous paint. Here's the dancer establishing an irresistible rhythm. Here the scholar recites the operation, and now the misty dead rolls through the flaw to consume him. The film closes on the dancer's watchful eyes, had she intended it all from the start. So we got a dread out of it. We got the sunset right, which we'll read in a second. It also got us a tier 3 winter lore. An operation of the declining sun. This invokes, acknowledges, and welcomes the passage of silence. You can use this with a heart influence and Byzantine tincture to summon the voiceless dead. So, got something there for at least. The assistant must cry tears of genuine emotion, which are asperged in the place where the influence lies. If all is done well, the sun and rags will consume the influence, acknowledge an ending, and lend it assistance. So there you go. Alright. Let us... I need to take a walk actually, because I'm about to get sick. So there we go. That going. Oh no. We got the money to spare, so that's alright. What I'll probably do after this book though is I'm gonna go ahead and see about hiring somebody to try to deal with Clover. It's not gonna have a high chance of success, but it's better than nothing. Story of a city without a gate, blah 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 blah. Alright, so never mind, I'll actually explore with that card first. Get that taken care of. Alright. Get that taken care of. Or Latin to play around with. Or money to play around with. So Sunset Rite takes an invocation, an assistant, an offering, which is in the form of an influence, which will actually do, it will take dread. So that's interesting. Let's see if we can do something with this. Add lantern or heart or winter. Unfortunately, I have to do an assistant at this point. I found a useful conjunction of aspects, but I need a lot more stuff. I don't think I have enough to do a summoning. Heart and winter. Yeah, definitely not enough. What if I do something like, let's see, what if I do, I don't know, something like this? Nope, not enough. Well, it'd be nice if I can get rid of some of this. I do know the combinations, I have it written down. I like found them out myself by just experimenting, but yeah, I don't have enough to, I need more, I think I need more knock to even attempt to summon. But this is, this does take influences, so I can use those, higher tier influences that we pick up now, for what it's worth. Let's go ahead and just do some regular exploring. See if we can get somebody. And I'm gonna keep working here. Not what I was looking for, but that's okay. Keep exploring, please. Alright, what to study? Let's go ahead and see about upgrading our winter. Since we can get up to freaking tier 4 winter, and that would definitely give us a lot more power to play with. I'm good with doors. This hireling may be useful for some expeditions. That is actually true. That is actually true. I'm gonna hire him. I mean, he has 5 ranks in knock. That's actually really, really good. That's enough to play around with. Alright, the evidence will be done in about 70 seconds. Alright, I was hoping to get rid of this Glover and Glover stuff, but we might actually go on an expedition. I know, it seems like I was never gonna do it. Alright. There may be a hidden door here somewhere. So sometimes the descriptions might have some hints about what you might need. Knock is, of course, has the symbol of a key, so it's probably someplace we want to take someone that has the knock aspect. So I need at least one person and 1 funds. I can pay for all of it. I'm convinced the Mithraeum still holds secrets that its discoverers never found. It's unlikely to be dangerous, but the search will require funds. Alright. So for the time, let's grab just in case. Alright. We'll see what happens. 30 seconds. So remember what I said about symbols, and that it's really important to keep track of them? Alright, we failed this, but anytime you fail on a research, you get an erudition out of it. So I'm just gonna try again. Eventually, it's what 3 requirements are randomized. It'll either be reason, erudition, or glimmerings. So you just gotta pray for reason, because that's usually the thing you have on hand. So, like I mentioned before, symbols. So there's the cards we added, including the funds, and then there's this. Hidden door can be found with lantern or knock. So this is letting us know that there's a hidden door up ahead. Our expedition plans for the next challenge, it'll consume funds. I can add funds now, or I can send another follower. It did mention that it takes 1 funding to go through each obstacle. So this it looks like it only has 1 obstacle. This is your progress is prevented. So that's something. We do have 5 knock. I'm gonna go ahead and call in Neville. They'll bring us up to 7 knock. We shouldn't need any extra money, and to be honest, after that, we shouldn't. It's really important. Like I mentioned, it's important to keep track of these requirements. Just throwing money and just random people into an expedition doesn't do anything, as far as I can tell. So it really comes down to pay attention to those and sending a good variety as far as your initial 2 people, your leader and your assistant. Alright, so that's frost. Boop. Hey, erudition. We got that going. We do have restlessness, not much we can do about it. Okay. Keep shopping. Alright, we're actually going overtime here, but... We call upon the beach crow who opens the earth. We are skilled in uncovering hidden ways. We'll probably find this hidden door. And this gives you another opportunity to add somebody if you need to. Usually you might not know the exact order that you'll get the obstacles in, so it'll give you an opportunity to put someone in there after telling you what the next obstacle is. I could throw lantern in there, but sending 2 different types doesn't really do anything. Where is it? We could use more knock and lantern. Okay, so we failed. Great. Great. That's exactly what I wanted to happen, is to fail. Hey, glimmering. Alright, got a favor if we need it, but we don't need it. Our evidence is gone, so we're good on that front. Expedition continues. So yeah, we failed to get through the hidden door, so this expedition's a wash. I mean, unless they can try the door again, but I don't know. I don't think they can do that. So that sucks. There is a number that will guarantee success, but we can't get to that number. Also, I'm running out of reason. Okay, so we got another shot. It used up the other coin though. So here's hoping we get through it this time. Got anything for me? Sure. Get a nice collection of that going. We might have to take some time to actually get more reason, because we're using up a lot of it for all of our studying. Okay, it takes erudition for the last one. That's good. Alright, so we can actually use this reason. Good. We broke even. Congrats. Unless I have more funds, we'll have to abandon the expedition. Okay, so we failed. I'm just gonna let it we can't get through the door with 7 knock, apparently. So, I tried. It didn't work. So we wasted 2 coins. If I paid money now, it would possibly keep going, but it's not letting me through, so I don't know if it... Oh, I just got fascination. That's bad. Last night in the billowing blue of the lodge of the Sage Knight, I sat on velvet cushions and watched 2 dead contend with shining swords. They came with the place, said the woman who rules here now, the one who once called herself Galmier. I was not the Sage Knight, if that's what you're wondering. He went higher in the manses long before I came here. My attention has drifted. The swords sparkle like falling water. The dead move like dancers. So, got some fascination out of that. Alright, tell you what, I'm gonna put 1 coin in here and we'll see what happens. But chances are, we're not gonna get through this. Which sucks, because it would be nice to actually get, you know, one of these done. I mean, Here, have some lantern. It's not gonna do anything, because it's already focused on knock. It'll always go after the, if there's 2 different types that will solve the problem, it always goes for the higher one. Alright, we did get the upgraded stuff for that. At this point, I'm actually gonna go ahead and take some time to... I actually need to build up reason, because the studying is actually eating up my reason. So we need to we need to deal with that. A way through the hidden door. Faint lines in stone, a surface that yields to pressure. We found it. A hidden door moves with a grating shudder and a shower of dust. Currently, we do have both despair and freaking fascination active at the moment, so that's not good at all. So we need to deal with that somehow. Alright. So we end up having to spend an extra coin. And we also had to use the extra coin that we had given ahead of time. If all goes well, you only have to spend one coin, because there's only literally one location. Alright. I'm gonna hold off on that stuff for right now. I do have a lot of money, so that's good. I'm gonna get some opium. We need to get rid of the dread, because the only way to get rid of fascination is with dread, and every dread we get will probably get yanked by despair, and that's bad. Alright, treasure lies before us, faint lines in stone, a surface that yields to pressure. We found it, the hidden door moves with a grating shudder and a shower of dust. So we did it. Anyway, I'm just waiting for the reason to recover so I can start getting some erudition. Because we need erudition. A lonely space, musty with the memory of blood. We have found the hidden door that the highest grades of initiates use. And this is going to get us notoriety. Alright, we're gonna get restlessness again, but that's not a big deal. That'll actually, because what's gonna happen is the despair is gonna go away, and the restlessness is gonna turn to dread and get rid of this. And then we'll be back to stability. Alright. The altar tilts back like a jaw. Behind it is the pyramid space where only the sun hunters and dawn givers might go. But others may have been here too, much more recently. They have left their treasures. So we get all these people. Including this person. We do get notoriety. And we get 3 cards. Noonstone. This is a tool. Noon, the saying goes, it's not what it was, but this polished stone still retains a sunset glow. So this is our first tool. Tools can be reused, essentially. They're actually rather handy. The Locksmith's Dream, Trespasses. The 3rd volume of Teresa Galmier's examination of the parallels in the mystic dreams of artisans. The Shaven Lock Tantra, also known as the one who has shaven his hair. The story goes, is the lore that even the shape-changing Veneras rejected, and this has Sanskrit. Okay, so we can translate that. So there you go. We actually accomplished something. This is pretty much one of the only ways to get things like tools and other fancy things. So that is some progress. I'm checking to see if there's any other locations we can mess around with. I'm thinking there isn't, but I'll try. We'll go to this place next. I'm just going to try to make use of this thinking right now. yeah, we'll go ahead and explore. I'm just trying to think if there's like, if I need to worry about a cunning person. We'll try going here. We'll see how it goes. Mr. Strathcon has forbidden entry to his library. Unfortunate. Let's see what we can do. Expeditions need at least 1 funds per obstacle. Followers will defeat obstacles if you run out of funds or followers. Blah 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 blah. So we'll go ahead and head out. We already have notoriety, so it's not a big deal. But for right now, I'm gonna go ahead and call this a video. I'm the Depressed Viewer, and this was Cultist Simulator. See you guys later.